and welcome back to the 410. My name is Adrian, your host, and we're back on a Friday here on the 410. Thank you for joining me. Big show here today. The O's, of course, they back up today. We're going to talk about them. Of course, we got to get into the NBA action. It's been nothing but fantastic, and get into our picks for the day. But before we get into any of that, K-Hill Electric on standby for any electrical needs you may have, whether they're big, small. You let them know exactly what you need. They're going to be on the way with the best service and the best price in town, y'all. All right, of course, the Orioles, they were off yesterday. The Yankees, they took care of that business there, won that series early in the week here. So, of course, we got to get back off to the same start here against the Royals today, 7 o'clock. Dean Krimmer on the mound. We talked about him last time having an ERA around Kobe Bryant. Now we at Mike Vick. So we're going to continue to try to bring that down. So, of course, a good showing from him today and get the job done here. Our bats, they've been clicking. So as long as we keep this pitching somewhere in the standard here in the league, we should be just fine here. I love the way the Orioles are looking. Even though we're not playing the best here, we're still able to get the job done. And the fact that we beat the Yankees in the series, that's all I need to see. If they're the team to beat in the AL, we just did it. So we already showed everybody exactly what we can do. Now we just got to tighten up the screws here and keep marching on. All right. Getting into the NBA here, of course, the last couple of days, I've been giving you the highlights, giving you the scores here. Haven't talked about anything, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of this stuff here. Tuesday, we had some winner-go-home games there. First up, we had the Pacers going against the Bucks. I know everybody's seen all about what's been going on in that series there. The Pacers sent the Bucks home, but before all of that was over, Tyrese Halliburton's dad jumped in Giannis's face, and my goodness, I was talking to my boy about this here. If Giannis wanted to, he could have crushed that man. I'm glad Giannis kept his composure there. Never a time for anybody to do anything like that, especially if you're not really trying to throw them hands. You know you're not trying to throw hands with Giannis, man. Stop playing around. So I'm glad that that didn't go wrong. I hear that he's not going to be attending any more home Pacer games for the moment. So that's rightfully so there, because you almost caused a big problem, man. You got to stay in your place there. Tyrese on the court doing this thing. He ain't trying to fight Giannis. You got to sit back and wait. If he trying to fight Giannis, then you can jump in. But you can't do nothing like that, man. All right. And then, of course, we also had the Celtics send the Magic home, which was no surprise here. Celtics got that job done pretty easily, so I wasn't really surprised at all about that. I think I told you that that's what they were going to do. They were tired of fighting with Orlando. They're ready to move on to the next round. Wednesday night, of course, we had the Rockets. They played the Warriors, and they definitely extended that series. They play again tonight, so we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. The big game that night, though, was the Lakers going up against the Timberwolves. Of course, the Timberwolves, they sent them home. LeBron, he did everything he can do. 40 years old, not much he can do playing the whole game like that. And then, of course, Luka, he was battling injury, stomach bug the other day. So you talking about, it was literally LeBron, Luka going up against all of Minnesota there. They have no bigs, nothing to take the pressure off. The rebound in there, Gobert, he had 27 points. 24 rebounds. That is just absolutely ridiculous. He was looking like Wilt Chamberlain down there. So, of course, the Lakers, they got a lot of questions to answer here in the offseason. I think LeBron, he has a player option or something to that degree. So they got to figure out something. Of course, they've already showed that their future is going to be Luka. But if they want to keep LeBron around, I think they got to figure something out. They're definitely not going to be able to play LeBron at center. And J.J. Redick, shame on you for playing all of them guys the whole second half. What's wrong with you, man? You played in the NBA. I played, and I didn't play in the NBA. There's no way in God's green earth that when you playing playoff intensity level basketball that you don't need a breather in a 12-minute quarter. That's crazy for you to think that them guys could do something like that. And just for that, that's why you're going to be sitting on the couch watching the game just like me. That was crazy to me. Anyways, let's get into the last night's game where, of course, we had the Knicks going against the Pistons. The Pistons were my pick in this series, and I was definitely rolling with them yesterday. They looked like they were going to extend this series to 7 games, and then Jalen Brunson came to town, and he definitely showed up. And my goodness, that's why they voted him the clutch player of the year in the NBA, because he does exactly that. I'm talking about, man, he hitting some mean shots, some stuff, one-legged fadeaways, everything ice cold stuff that you can think of. He getting the job done there. They won this game 116 to 113. Like I said, Jalen Brunson hit that big three at the end of the game. It was nothing but ice cold. And then the same thing happened the other day to Giannis at the end of the game, which I don't understand, man. I'm going to have to look up and see how much these people getting paid, because there is no way on God's green earth that you paying me a couple $1 million and somebody passes me the ball in the playoff game and the ball literally slips right through my hand and go out into the crowd. I've seen it twice in the playoffs here. I'm talking about twice in win or go home games. So my conspiracy on that is, did those guys really want to play anymore? Because it seemed like to me, they let the ball go through their hands because they knew the game was going to be over and it was vacation time. Gary Trent Jr., yeah, I'm going to call y'all out. He did that thing up there in Milwaukee, let that ball go right through his hands. And then, of course, last night, don't even know how in the world Malik Beasley just let the ball go straight through his hands. He would have had a wide open three-point shot to at least get a chance to tie the game. Instead of that, the ball is sitting there on the sideline with somebody right next to their popcorn. Good season for the Pistons. Terrible way for them to go out at the end of that game there, but they had plenty to build on there. I'm looking forward to watching the Pistons here in the future. Last game of the night, last night, was going to be the Clippers up against the Nuggets. Of course, I had the Clippers in this series. The Nuggets, they beat them the other day in Denver. So, of course, the Clippers, they had to win this, so they were going to be staying right there in L.A. It was a great game. This series has been the best series so far. The Clippers got the job done 111-105. K.Y. Jordan, of course, K.Y. Leonard, of course, he getting ready to go up against them in Denver here, and he's going to try to get the job done. Like I said, I picked the Clippers, so I'm not straying from that. I think the Clippers will still get the job done here against Denver at home. Of course, Jokic has been a load, and the problem is what I alluded to early on against the Clippers. Once they get off of Zubac and they had to go to the bench, they have absolutely nothing to throw at Jokic. They put Nicholas Batum on Jokic last night, and I'm telling you, Jokic, he sat there and he posted them people up and he backed them up. I think about 5 straight plays where he had Kawhi Leonard on his back, he had Nicholas Batum on his back. It was crazy. They have nothing down there. So if Zubac gets into foul trouble, so if I'm Denver, if Zubac gets into foul trouble, that's the key to unlocking the unlimited potential of the Joker. He can do whatever he wants anyways, but he definitely can do whatever he wants if they have no Zubac on the court. So I'm looking forward to seeing the game there. That's going to be another great game. I love watching James Harden play, and especially when he's on his stuff. All right, game tonight here. Golden State Warriors going against the Rockets. Of course, the Rockets, they extended the series the other night. Great play out of Sengun. He's been doing his thing. He's pretty much the leader of the troops here. Jalen Green, he's off, he's on, he's off, he's on. I have conspiracy about Jalen Green while he's off and on, but I'm going to leave that to myself. Tonight, the Golden State Warriors are favored by 5.5 points. They're my pick in this series, so I don't see why I'm not going to take Golden State minus this 5.5. Of course, if Jalen Green is on his stuff, this game could be a little bit closer, but after the performance Golden State put on the other night, I know the mentality of Jimmy Butler. I know the mentality of Steve Kerr. They're going to go out here tonight, first quarter, and you're going to see some dog play here. So for me, my bet, and I haven't given you a lock in a while here because these playoff games, it's tough for me to give you a lock and stand on it. But today, I'm almost 100% sure that the first quarter in this Golden State game, Golden State will cover that spread. So that's what I'm going to be putting my money on tonight. You can put your money on that one if you like. But once again, these playoff games, they can get tough. But I'm almost 100% sure Golden State's going to come out firing on all cylinders here after the game that they had the other day against Houston. Thank you for joining me today here on the 410. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this. If you haven't already, please share this with somebody. Like everything you see. We're going to continue to grow this thing here on the 410. I haven't even come close to getting into what we really want to get into on the 410. But it's coming, y'all. It's coming. Don't you worry. Everything happens in time. Rome wasn't built in a day. But we're going to continue to grow the 410 here. Any comments you have, please send them down the way here. I love to see all of the feedback. Even if it's negative, I'll take it all down here at the 410. Don't worry. If you got something to say about the boys, I got something to say back to you. You know how I get down here on the 410. If you haven't already, please check on your family and friends. Make sure they're doing okay. This is Adrian here on the 410.